If you're interested in beautiful DIYs on a budget, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to be making this popular lighted gift box for a fraction of the cost that you would pay in the big box stores. Check out some of these prices. Home Depot, $149, $109. Lowe's, $94 and $73. Walmart, $44. Use Dollar Tree supplies and some items from our stash to keep the costs low. Our lighted gift box costs around $15. We made it using cooling racks so that it's very strong and sturdy and can withstand most weather conditions. To start with, you could hand paint your racks with an acrylic paint to save some money. But we spray painted ours for time saving and convenience. Then for a very strong hold, we zip tied them together. First, we'll zip the long sides of our cooling racks together. As you can see here, we're using the zip ties because A, they're strong, and B, they give you the flexibility to shape your box later. Then we'll add a white string of lights. First, you'll want to plug in your lights to make sure they work. We got ours at Dollar Tree. Start at one corner and outline the entire frame, and if you have any excess lights, they can be used to fill in the middle. We used a white string of 50 lights, which casts enough brightness for this gift box craft. So you'll want to start with the plug end, leave enough excess so you can have some flexibility to plug it in. Then you'll be zip tying your lights, not on the edge, but about 2 inches or an inch from the edge. A good place to zip tie your lights is on the little legs of your cooling rack, and you'll want to make sure that those little legs are on the inside of the gift box. Then once you've gone around the frame of your box, you can take the excess and put them in the middle. Once everything's in place, just tighten all your zip ties and cut the excess off. Next, we'll bring our ends together to form our box. It's a big wide world out there, and it's always fun to know where our viewers are coming from. If you'd like, leave in the comments below where you're from. We'd love to hear from you. Now we'll zip tie our box together. I used 3 zip ties to attach it all. Once those are attached, you'll flip it over and you'll attach the smaller cooling tray on the top. These were from Walmart. In just a few minutes, I'm going to share our crafting journey with you. But first, let's get this box together. This small cooling tray is 10 inches by 10 inches. The larger cooling trays from Dollar Tree are 10 inches by 16 inches. This lighted gift box is a significant size. Because of the size of this, it makes suitable outdoor decoration. Once our box is together, we're going to be adding some white mesh that we got at the Dollar Tree. I flipped mine on end to start. We used 2 rolls of mesh. To attach the mesh, we used Gorilla Hot Glue for a strong hold. Start along one edge and work your way around, gluing 6 to 8 inches at a time. When you're gluing down your mesh, you'll probably want to use a silicone spatula to press it down so that you don't burn your fingers. While I work on adding the mesh around the frame, I would like to introduce myself. Well, let me tell you a story about a man named Bob. That's me. Anyways, I'm a professional artist, designer, and content creator. I started making crafts on YouTube about 4 years ago on our channel, Pink Nose Chronicles. See the link below. If you're wondering where we got that name from, it came from our sweet little puppies, Pebbles and Harry, and their sweet little pink noses. It all started as a family blog, sharing what we do, and crafts are a big part of what we do, and that really seemed to resonate with our viewers. Time and time again, our viewers really appreciated our focus on budget-friendly crafts. So we switched our focus to doing just that. We've made some mistakes along the way, but we've learned a lot. Today I'm finding that everything is costing so much more. I went to a grocery store the other day and I was absolutely stunned at the cost of eggs. And the bill at the till always leaves me with a sticker shock. Am I the only one feeling this way? I think not. I know that the cost of daily living is taking a huge bite out of everyone's budget. So that's why I feel it's so important to bring you low-cost alternatives and budget-friendly hacks so that you can still have beautiful decor for your home at a low cost. It is my hope that you and I can craft together, have fun, and make really beautiful things that you'll be proud of to display in your home. As I make these crafts, I like to think that you're making them along with me, and that we are in this together. If this sounds like what interests you, then I hope you will consider subscribing to DIY Craft. Join me and let's have a lot of fun crafting along the way together. We're starting a whole new venture with this channel, and we'd appreciate your support. Well, let's talk about this craft for a minute. Continue to add mesh along each side. Once you have completely covered your box, add a second layer because the second layer adds maximum reflection of light. White is naturally reflective and it will glow beautifully at night. I've made at least 10 of these lighted boxes, and this one is my favorite. It is strong, weatherproof, affordable, and most beautiful of all. Now I've made this box with white mesh, but if you have green mesh, yellow mesh, red mesh, whatever mesh you have, you can use that instead. And once you've made a full rotation, then you'll get to the end and you'll glue that down and trim off the excess. When you're putting it down on the edge, put a good solid bead of hot glue down the side there, and then take your mesh, line up the outside of the mesh with the outside of the frame so you get a nice clean line. And you'll want to make sure that you pull your mesh taut so that you don't get any buckles in it. And please remember to use safety precautions. Use a rubber spatula or something to put down your mesh on the glue, because you don't want to burn your fingers like I've done 10, 20, 30 times. In the background, you'll notice my little puppies. They're always sort of there in the background, and they're always taking my seat. And when you're meshing, do the outsides first, then do the middle. It'll keep your lines nice and crisp and clean. And there we go, 2 layers of mesh. Now the fun begins. Do you all like trim work the best? I do. I think it's the fun and creative part. So I've got red ribbon, and more red ribbon. And I got all this ribbon at garage sales. So I did not pay retail for any rolls of this. So if you are out there garage sailing, keep your eyes open for Christmas ribbon and Christmas decorations. So now I'm just looking at this and trying to figure out which one of these red ribbons that I want to use. And as always, I highly recommend to use what you already have on hand. So big surprise, I picked the red ribbon. But the red ribbon with the gold edges. So just wrap around the box and leave about 1 inch or 2 excess. Then I use some Gorilla Hot Glue to attach the ribbon. Now I've got lots of ideas of things to do, but I'm kind of interested in what you might like to see done. Now I've got lots of ideas of crafts to make, and I was just wondering if there's anything out there that you might like us to do together. Just leave your comments below. Then just continue to glue and secure your ribbon to the box, and these do have wires, so press firmly on the edges to give it a nice crisp seam. Once you've made one of these boxes, you might want to make a grouping of them. A group of 3 is a really good number. So now we'll make our bow. Now you could do this bow either lying down like ours is, or you can flip it over the other way and put it upright on edge. Do a dry run, laying out your ribbon for size. Once you're happy with the size that you have, use that as a template and cut another piece the exact same size. Then fold your ribbon in half to find the center. Press the seam so that you can see it. Fold your ends to center and glue. Fold the other side and glue to center. And repeat that same process with the other piece. Then glue one side down diagonally. Then take the other piece and put that across and put that diagonally. Make sure the ends point from one corner to the other. Cut 2 strips 16 inches long. Fold in half to find center and cut it. Do this twice, so you'll have 2 sets of ribbons, and then dovetail them. So here's a mistake I made. I should have put these down before I put the loops on, but it'll still work out, so don't worry if you do make a mistake. It'll all work out just fine. So just put your ribbon ends underneath the bows and put a little extra glue when you're done that, just to give it a little extra strength. Then just do a dry run because you're going to be needing a loop for the center, so just check that out, see how much you need. Then just cut off what you need, glue the ends together, then glue that loop into the center of your ribbons. Now you could stop there, but I'm going to be using this Dollar Tree pick that I got 4 years ago, just to add a little flair to my little gift box. Thanks for watching, and I hope you give this a try. You'll save a whole lot of money, and you'll have a lot of fun. Isn't that beautiful? And it gets even more beautiful at night when it's all lit up. And I'll see that in a few minutes. Or rather, seconds. Thanks for crafting with me today, and I hope you'll join us on our journey, starting today. See you next time.